Just tell us from your perspective what it meant to get this win on Fan Appreciation Night and then greet the fans afterward.
Yeah, feeling like all the boys really took this game serious to finish strong for the fans. Like the fans have been incredible for us whole season, so yeah, really important to finish strong for them.
Yeah, I mean it's the same. Obviously the season didn't end the way we wanted to, and to be able to get a win here on home ice in front of our fans, it means the world to us. And yeah, I mean it was a fun night, and especially seeing them afterwards, it's pretty special.
Berg, you guys obviously turned it around in the third period. What was the key to that? What happened between periods to get you guys going?
Just keep going. Like in the locker room, we talk a lot about just keep going. We play pretty good hockey, so. And like I said before, like let the fans have a win here at the last game. So yeah, I'm feeling that boosts the team.
Todd was saying earlier today, it's up to you to capture the moment when you get a chance, like playing on the first line or second line. What do you think you have to do a better job of that?
To stay or.
Yeah, to have more consistency, to have more offense.
I don't know. This was the first time I played with Ray and Larks, and I felt it went pretty good. Those are really skillful players, so just give them the puck and they will handle it good. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this game.
Lucas, from your perspective, what does Jonatan bring to the line?
Yeah, I think Bergie played really good tonight, and just with his vision and the way he skates, it brings an extra edge to the game, and sees the eyes very well. So it was really fun to see him out there tonight.
Lucas, just can you at all look at this season? You mentioned a little bit it wasn't the way you wanted to end, but can you put your emotions behind it? What to not be in the playoffs again?
Yeah, I mean, we had a clear goal coming into this season. How close we were last year. The only next step we could take is being in the playoffs, and we were, very determined to get there. Obviously, we weren't able to do it, and we know that, and I think it's about looking at ourselves and figuring out what we need to do as a team to take that next step. And I know I'm very excited for it, and I think a lot of guys in that room is as well. So regroup. Figure out our team's identity and stick to it, and go at it again next year.
Bergie, a little bit off of Ray's point there, but how important is just some positive momentum? 2 more games left this season, just going into the summer with that.
Yeah, of course it's huge for the group to end strong, and that's our goal to. These last 2 games play really good and hopefully get 2 wins. So I think it's nice to end with a good spirit. So yeah, it's important.
Jonathan, you touched on this a little bit, but just for you personally, how important is it to just finish strong? I'm sure the offense hasn't come as you would have liked this season. Just what do you think are the keys for you here going forward?
I don't know. I feel like this season has become better 2 ways forward. Like I know the offense will come, and it makes it easier when you play like with those guys that's really skillful. So I don't know. Just take these 2 games and play as good as I can.
Lucas, you're the first Red Wings player since Henrik Zetterberg to have 50-plus assists in a season. Does that hold any special meaning for you, especially as a fellow Swede?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's fun. I feel like it's a big part of my game that impacts the game in a positive way, and you look at all these stuff that Henrik accomplished. It's very impressive, and to be mentioned with that is a lot of fun. But for me, it's just about focusing on me, trying to develop all around game, and keep taking steps.
Hey Lucas, on that note, Patrick Kane plays in his 1300th game tonight, gets his 850th career assist, almost 1,400 points. Can you wrap your head around numbers like that, and just what have you appreciated most about playing with him alongside him now for 2 seasons?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I can. It's unbelievable. And he's big for our team. Obviously, you guys see what he does on a game basis, but just the way he carries himself off ice in practice. And with a guy like that, you're just trying to soak in as much as you can and learn as much as you can. So, no, Patty's great.
He sent me tonight, so
So let her rip.
yeah.
Well, Trent, what was said? 4 goals in the third. What was said between periods to get guys going, and what did winning the season finale at home mean to everybody?
Well, I think it means a lot to our fans for sure, who have supported the team, through the whole year. But at the same time, for some of our younger players to continue to play the right way, to execute properly, and basically that's what was addressed. That thought the second period we were pretty sloppy. I think we lost. There's 27 face-offs, and I think we lost 20 of them, and most of the scoring chances came off the face-offs. That's a competitive situation, so that's something that we talked about as coaches, and something that we had to change for the third period.
As you guys wrap up on the road, what will the message be to finish strong here?
Well, it's been the whole time has been about habits, about playing the right way, and not losing some of the good things that we've had in our game over the last little while. I mean, breaking out clean, defending with a purpose, and obviously, the special teams to continue the power play to do what they've been doing all year long, and our penalty kill has gotten better over time. So you want to continue to have those habits, and that probably the biggest thing has been the habits and the fact that bad ones are harder to break than good ones are to develop. So why, Todd's made a point of why do you want to give anything back?
Was this pre-planned all along that you would talk after tonight's game, or?
No, I just listen to him, and he tells me what to do. So he told me to go talk to the media.
What have you thought of, just since you and Todd got here, since we have you tonight, the team and in the progress you guys have been able to make?
Well, I mean, it's been interesting, I guess, for me. I'll speak for myself. The quality of the young players. Simon, Casper, these young guys, I know in our experience in other organizations that we've been in, I don't know if I would be playing Simon Edvinsson at 22 against some of the teams, but he handles it. And he's a young defenseman that's able to play against the best players in the National Hockey League. That doesn't happen everywhere. Casper's another one at a different position. So that's been exciting moving forward. Obviously, I was more, for me, just the building and the fans and it's reminds me a little bit of being in Canada, the hockey part of it. I know, hence they call it Hockey Town, but you could see why, and it's pretty cool to come to the rink and people are excited about the game. And when we first got here, and then we got in on a few runs that it got pretty loud in there. So that was kind of when you're looking into the future, you're hoping that you can. Next year we're one of those 16 teams or the 8 teams that are playing.
Lastly, just Todd said that after the Four Nations break, you had to drive your horse dog here. Could you tell us what kind of dog it is?
It's a Greater Swiss Mountain Dog, and he's 130 pounds, 9 years old, and he's pretty docile guy. So yeah, we drove from L.A. all the way here to Detroit, and I think it took just close to 3 days. But he traveled pretty good actually. My wife made a little bed for him in the back and of the SUV, and got him into a couple hotels that accept pets, and that was kind of and we were still talking to each other by the time we got here too.
Trent, could you just elaborate a little bit on what you've learned about Simon and also Moritz since you've been here?
Well, I think Todd touched on it here the other day. I've seen a young, I wouldn't say, I guess a boy starting to turn into a man. And I think that I had the maturity over the course of time, not just on the ice, but off the ice. And obviously, I've been fortunate enough to be around a lot of good young defensemen, and him and Mo are right up there with some of the top guys that I've ever been around, and they're a lot younger. So that's exciting for someone like myself to be around that type of cloth. But yeah, he's really grown, and over the course of time here, adding the power play, I don't know if that's going to be a long-term thing, but everything that we've thrown at him, he's handled. And I think that's exciting obviously for himself, but also for us and the team.
Hey, Trent, how difficult can it be for a team, like when you guys are out of the playoff picture like you are tonight, can it be difficult for players to get up for games like this?
Absolutely. I think, it's such when you're pushing to get in and then you don't get in and then you still have a few games left. I mean, as coaches, it's hard because you want them to be motivated, but at the same time you're not crossing the line because I mean, for myself, I know I've been in their shoes. But this morning I talked to the D a little bit about, I mean, really there's only two forks in the road that you can take, and that's execution or excuses. And I mean, proud of the team that they executed. I mean, we got some opportunities to score goals, and we scored. And we didn't. We got maybe didn't start the game as quickly as we would have liked. A little sloppy defensively, but they got it back. And again, as I said earlier about the habits, the good habits, you could start to see them, kind of come back. And that's a credit to them and the fact that there's a belief there that works for them.
And Trent, Todd said this morning about it was up to Berggren to kind of seize the moment playing on the line with Larkin and Raymond. What did you see from him in this game?
Well, I mean, he did what I think that when we first got here that everybody talked about. I mean, the goal was a goal scorer's type of goal. And I thought that, he handled himself pretty well and got a chance to shoot it in the net, and he did. And that's maybe something that he wasn't doing up until that point, even though maybe he didn't get that type of chance. But, he's another young player that I think learned a lot in the time that we were here from December 27th on. I mean, was up and down the lineup, in the lineup, out of the lineup. And sometimes for players to go through that, they kind of finally realize that, there is some sense being made here as to how you have to play in the National League. It's a little bit different than the American League, and when you get up on those top lines, you're playing against the other team's top D.
And Johansson hasn't scored a lot of goals, but it seems like every one he gets is spectacular. Do you think as he matures and becomes more comfortable as an NHL, is there more offense in his game?
Well, I don't know, but he does have a really good, sneaky, hard shot, and you see that in practice, and he's obviously been interesting because now as we've moved forward, I knew nothing about it, but the only thing I did know, and when I found out shortly after I was here, I played with his dad in Calgary, so that was kind of unique in that sense. Roger was in Calgary when I was there, but with Albert, the one thing that he does very well, and it's hard for young D to do, he can play both sides. And he can play both sides in the course of a game. And sometimes you can move a guy from right to left, and they get lost. And it happened to us in LA with a couple of the D-men. And so far it's happened in a couple of games, and he's handled that really well. And that's going to be something that, for him, that's a notch in his belt that he's able to play. Can play one game, he can play the right side. The next game, he can play the left side if need be. And it was nice to see him get rewarded for his hard work. He's played very well for us since we've been here since December 27th, and kind of established himself as an everyday player. Yep. Anytime. You'll want Todd back now.